How do people become useless? This is a popular question on YouTube with more than 300,000 followers and over 100 million views. Many of the highly liked answers emphasize factors such as laziness and procrastination. However, among all the things that can make a person useless, the most terrifying is not those things that advocate instant gratification, but the information cocoon that is imperceptible. It will slowly affect your judgment, quietly erode your thoughts without your guard, and slowly devour valuable things. Eventually, it will completely transform you into a useless person. In Plato's The Republic, there is a story of the cave allegory. The story goes that there are many prisoners trapped in a cave. Their bodies cannot move, their backs are against the wall, and their eyes can only stare at the wall in front of them. Behind this wall, someone is holding something like a shadow puppet and creating some illusory images, projecting them in front of the prisoners, making these prisoners mistakenly believe that the scene in front of them is the real world. They have been living in this illusion. Later, a prisoner escaped and saw the real world outside the cave. He looked around at the entrance of the cave, extremely excited. The escaped prisoner secretly vowed in his heart that he would never go back to live that false life again. At the same time, he also wanted to save his companions. But when he returned to the cave and told his companions about the bright world outside without missing a word, they not only did not believe him, but also thought that his eyes had been damaged by the sun after going out, and he could no longer recognize the images on the wall as before. They thought he was an outlier and began to ostracize him. Finally, they murdered him. Doesn't this resemble the current internet environment? With the support of algorithms, everything we see on the internet is precisely designed by algorithms and is what others want you to see. Previously, a netizen and his girlfriend did an experiment. They watched the same video about a couple arguing on the same short video platform. However, the popular comments they saw were completely different. The netizen saw popular comments all blaming the woman, while his girlfriend saw comments all speaking for women from a female perspective. In the past, it was generally believed that the comment section was sorted according to the number of likes or time. But now, the comment section can also be customized directly. Many people may not know that big data has quietly infiltrated our lives. A casual word in life, a random search, will be quietly captured and recorded by algorithms. You will find that whether you are watching videos or shopping, it seems that these apps know what you are thinking in your mind, and there is a phenomenon that the machine knows you better than you know yourself. This very refined and personalized service makes you forget yourself on these platforms. But you haven't thought about a question, that is, when we habitually use social platforms as the main source of information, an invisible information cocoon is also being formed in our brains. In this information cocoon, we are like a baby, being fed with various seemingly interesting but not very practical information every day. Slowly, your knowledge becomes narrower and narrower, and eventually you are imprisoned in the cage of information. Staying in this cocoon, we will feel very comfortable because we don't need to consume too many brain cells to process complex information. The information we are exposed to is always close to our subjective will and our knowledge level. Sometimes we don't even need to think anymore because the information and views we see are all what we like to see. And those words that can refresh our cognition or help us grow, which are often unpleasant to hear, are often blocked outside the cocoon. So we gradually get used to this mode of information reception. Everyone is in a state of various information that conforms to their own will, acknowledge their own views, and satisfies their entertainment desires, and then enters a state of collective unconsciousness. This will have several very serious consequences. The most obvious one is the decline of our individual independent thinking ability. We all know that once a person loses the independent thinking ability, he is like a puppet on strings and can be manipulated by anyone at will. Have you noticed that nowadays, when people judge the cause and effect of a thing, they often do not draw conclusions based on objective facts and scientific evidence, but rather obtain opinions from opinion leaders on various social media and information that follows others' opinions? In this era, a statement made by an internet celebrity can influence people's choices and even guide public opinion in such an environment. If you do not have independent thinking about a thing, you are very likely to become an accomplice of information, and your views will become more and more subjective and extreme. Secondly, in the information cocoon, many people are only willing to believe what they want to believe, not the truth, especially in the last 2 years, as the information cocoon has become more and more serious. There is a type of chicken soup on the internet that is particularly fragrant. For example, a certain star is said to be dedicated for staying up late and deserves to be so popular. A certain rich man is said to be approachable for wearing shoes worth more than 20 yuans, when the middle class and petty bourgeoisie work 996 to improve their living quality. These stars, internet celebrities, and rich men are competing to sell their hardships. But are they really hard? Actually, they live better than most people. Why do these people like to set up a fake persona? Because the public likes it. These personas are mostly likable. The rich men and their professional publicity teams also cater to the public's taste, packaging the contrast events of how super rich people are thrifty and exaggerating the publicity of how stars are dedicated. Doesn't the image become more glorious and taller all of a time? And what is called the collapse of a persona? Isn't it that in real life, this person is different from the persona on the internet? But have you seriously thought about it? Actually, the person in real life is his true self. This is the truth. But do people want to believe it? Many people don't want to believe it at this time. They say, my idol is not like this. You are slandering my idol. In this information explosion society, right and wrong are often hijacked by emotions. People often only believe the part they want to believe and ignore what the truth is. Those truths that make people feel uncomfortable are always ignored. On the contrary, those lies that can give the public a beautiful fantasy can make the public blindly follow, be extreme, and even be fanatical. This behavior is also called confirmation bias in psychology. What is confirmation bias? If you believe in something once, you will look for evidence that supports your theory and hypothesis, selectively collect information, reject other unfavorable information, and interpret the obtained information according to your own ideas and logic to derive a fact or truth that conforms to your own will. Actually, this fact and truth are arbitrary and one-sided. This is what is called confirmation bias, when there is still an explanation that is beneficial to oneself. For a thing, our brain will think without hesitation that this is the only explanation and it is correct. In this world, the cost of spreading rumors is very low, but sometimes it takes a life to refute a rumor. Living in an era that is easily influenced by group consciousness, people unconsciously lose the ability to distinguish between true and false, follow others' opinions, and then breed wave after wave of keyboard warriors. Everyone holds the holy flag in their heart and walks towards evil with a flushed face. But what is the truth? It has never been important to them. This will produce a more serious consequence, that is, people's values become alienated. If you observe carefully, you will find that nowadays, people are easily attracted by things that are only good-looking on the surface and rarely willing to understand the principles and essence behind things. The distorted value of appearance is justice has quietly prevailed. Under this bad social trend, many people's values are based on their facial features. They believe that being handsome or beautiful can represent everything. As long as they are good-looking, even if they have committed a crime, there will be people who sympathize with them. The mindless pursuit of idols by fans has formed wave after wave of public opinion hotspots. Those who often stay on social software are often deeply trapped and cannot extricate themselves. They spend their time on those endless quarrels and gossip, for topics such as what kind of person they want to become or what problems they want to solve for society, which seem a bit more serious. They either think it is not necessary to consider or find such topics very annoying. And if this state continues, you will find that many people, even after graduating for many years or working for many years, still don't know what they want to do because they have not spent much time thinking about themselves for so many years. Most of the time has slowly passed in those fun messages that come to them automatically. This means that different types of people see completely different information. Those who like games have games in their lives. Those who like to watch dramas have soap operas, movies, variety shows, etc. in their lives. Those who like to study have study-related content in their lives. Thus, different worldviews, different outlooks on life, and different values are formed. And then they continuously deepen their belief in the information content they see and cannot accept the information outside their cognition, and finally form a cognitive gap, an information gap, and different circles and different lives. Then some people may ask, I want to break through the information cocoon. What should I do? I will share 4 methods that I often use. First, read more books. Reading is an important way to acquire in-depth knowledge and systematic thinking. Compared with short videos, books usually go through a more strict process of thinking and induction, and the content is more rigorous and comprehensive. Through reading books, we can come into contact with the views of experts and scholars in different fields. understand their in-depth research and unique insights on a certain problem. In addition, reading books is also helpful for cultivating our critical thinking. In short, content and traffic are essentially a business. Instead of being a buyer of the business, it is better to be a buyer of ideas. Second, select information sources carefully in this era of information flooding. We need to learn to screen and distinguish information sources. It is crucial to choose those information sources that are insightful and have ideas, at the same as we can give higher weights to media that often provide accurate and in-depth reports. This helps us to quickly make judgments when faced with a large amount of information, and avoid being guided by wrong and biased information. Third, seek opposing opinions. Before forming our own views and opinions, we should actively seek and understand different voices, even opposing opinions. This not only helps us to look at problems from different angles and understand things more comprehensively, but also enables us to realize that our cognition may have blind spots or biases. Through communicating and discussing with people who hold opposing opinions, we can continuously improve and adjust our views and avoid falling into the trap of confirmation bias. In short, comfort does not bring alertness, discomfort brings change. Fourth, communicate across fields and circles. To break through the information cocoon, we need to communicate and discuss with people from different fields, different backgrounds, and different views. This not only helps us to broaden our vision, but also enhances our understanding of different cultures and different values, thus better understanding the diversity of society and perceiving the essence of things and the truth and logic of social operation. Okay, this video ends here. I'm Kevin. I hope my sharing can help you improve your self-awareness, upgrade your thinking mode, and meet a better version of yourself.